Germany, a nation that rests at the core of Europe, symbolizes more than medieval castles, enchanting forests, or tales of yore. It is an economic titan, whose veins pulsated with unparalleled manufacturing and engineering prowess, presenting a vivid tableau of growth and stability within the European tapestry. Once, the moniker, "Made in Germany," wasn't just a stamp of quality, it was an emblem of global industrial leadership. 2 decades ago, Germany grappled with economic challenges post-reunification. In the early 2000s, high unemployment rates and a stagnated GDP marked the country's economic landscape. However, the introduction of reforms such as Agenda 2010 revitalized the economy by targeting labor markets and welfare systems. By the mid-2000s, Germany had solidified its role as a global exporter, witnessing a significant boost in its GDP. By 2013, Germany's economic trajectory reflected stability and growth. Despite the setbacks from the global financial crisis of 2008, the nation bounced back, with consistent growth by 2013. The thriving manufacturing sector, spearheaded by industries like automotive, played a pivotal role in this phase. Fiscal discipline was a notable feature, with Germany maintaining budget surpluses, setting it apart from several European peers. Moving to the present in 2023, the German economy has faced newer challenges, particularly the economic disruptions from the COVID-19 pandemic. Sectors such as tourism and automotive were impacted, leading to a temporary dip in GDP. However, timely economic stimuli facilitated a quicker recovery. The economy is also witnessing a shift, with the rise of the digital service sector and a pronounced focus on sustainability, particularly in green energy initiatives. In its heyday, Germany stood virtually unchallenged, especially in its traditional domains like automotive production, heavy machinery, and precision engineering. These industries weren't merely sectors within an economy, they were the cornerstones upon which Germany's reputation was built. Every luxury car that glided through the streets of Paris or every turbine that powered a Midwest American town stood testament to this dominance. But as dawn gives way to day, economic epochs too transition. The digital revolution, unfurling its tentacles across sectors, brought challenges to Germany's doorstep. Countries, earlier mere spectators in the global manufacturing arena, began emerging as serious contenders. China, with its unmatched scalability, and South Korea, with its technological advancements, started inching ahead in this new race. In this global reordering, Germany's firmly rooted industries faced the risk of obsolescence if they did not evolve. Yet, challenges weren't solely from international competitors. Germany's internal economic policies, rooted in rigorous fiscal discipline, began displaying a paradox. On one hand, this discipline manifested as commendable budgetary surpluses, a sign of a healthy economy. But, concurrently, cracks began to emerge. Vital sectors like infrastructure, research, and education witnessed underinvestment. The Autobahn, once the envy of the world for its efficiency, began yearning for upgrades. Digital infrastructure, the backbone of a modern economy, needed more attention to keep pace with global standards. The manufacturing edifice that Germany had so meticulously constructed over decades required modernizing touches. It wasn't about replacing the old, but enhancing it with the new. As AI-driven robots, cloud computing, and IoT began dominating industry conversations globally, the imperative for Germany was clear: merge its deep-rooted manufacturing wisdom with these new-age digital tools. In essence, the challenges Germany faced at the dusk of the 20th century and the dawn of the 21st weren't insurmountable. But they demanded introspection, adaptability, and a willingness to blend tradition with innovation. The question was, would this economic titan rise to the occasion, or would it be overshadowed by the newer luminaries on the global stage? No economic analysis of Germany is complete without addressing the specter of its demographic challenges. For years, the rhythmic cadence of its economic march was set by its people. However, with one of the world's lowest birth rates, Germany now stands at an unprecedented crossroads. The shadow of an aging population isn't merely a statistic. It's an intricate web of challenges that intertwines social, economic, and political strands. As the nation grays, its once youthful workforce is gradually retiring, leading to potential labor shortages in sectors that require specialized skills. Germany's legacy sectors, like automotive and machinery, demand not just hands and minds but a fusion of experience and innovation. With fewer young people entering the workforce, the knowledge transfer from older generations becomes a concern. If not addressed, This could lead to a weakening of the very industries that once defined Germany's global identity. To counteract these demographic shifts, Germany historically looked beyond its borders. Immigration, when employed strategically, brought fresh talent and skills. But the scale and nature of the present demographic shift have amplified the challenge. A simple influx isn't enough. It's about integrating diverse talents into the German fabric, ensuring they contribute to and drive forward its economic narrative. Beyond internal challenges, Germany's position in the global economic order started feeling the tremors of broader geopolitical shifts. The waves created by trade tensions, especially between economic juggernauts like the US and China, inevitably lapped at Germany's shores. As these superpowers locked horns, the reverberations were felt across global supply chains. Germany, deeply interwoven into this intricate global network, found its export-driven model under duress. Furthermore, the protectionist policies adopted by nations, driven more by political winds than economic sensibilities, posed another layer of complexity. For a nation whose heartbeat was synchronized with global trade rhythms, these policies felt like skipped beats. It wasn't just about adjusting to new tariffs or trade barriers. It was about navigating a world where the rules of engagement were being rewritten. And then there's the European Union. As the bloc's most potent economy, Germany was often its compass. Yet, with the winds of change sweeping through Europe, from Brexit to debates about fiscal policies, Germany's role and influence within the EU became subjects of contemplation. As nations like France sought a more pronounced voice and Eastern European countries looked for greater integration, Germany's balancing act became more intricate. Yet, alongside these potential avenues of growth, there are stumbling blocks. The need for digital infrastructure, education reform to foster tech-savvy talent, and a regulatory landscape that encourages innovation are paramount. Furthermore, competition is fierce. Asian economies, most notably China, are not just competitors, they're setting the pace in several technological arenas. Another dimension to Germany's evolving story is its role within post-Brexit Europe. With the UK's departure, the European Union's internal dynamics are in flux. The balance of power, economic priorities, and the very vision of the European project are subjects of intense debate. Germany, given its economic clout, finds itself at the heart of these discussions. The challenge is to wield its influence in a manner that fosters collective European growth while safeguarding national interests. Internal European challenges notwithstanding, the broader geopolitical canvas also impacts Germany's trajectory. Its deep economic ties with both the US and China mean that any disturbance in the global equilibrium affects its course. Additionally, emerging markets, brimming with potential and ambition, present both opportunities and challenges. Collaborating with them offers avenues for growth, but they are also competitors, vying for a slice of the global economic pie. The challenges faced by Germany as it ventures further into the 21st century are multifaceted. They aren't just about rejuvenating industries or recalibrating economic models, they're about reimagining Germany's place in an evolving world. The nation's journey, from here on, is not just its own. As the pages turn, the world watches with bated breath, eager to see how this European powerhouse navigates the intricacies of a changing global order.